a variety, yes. Fantastic. I'm really looking forward. We've got two more.
I was cooking through my cooking career, chef career started in the 70s. It proceeded up until 2001, and for most of that time, one wasted food in a professional kitchen setting at one's peril.
Right.
You know, it's the whole business model, the whole system that I came up with abhorred waste, encouraged us to make the most of every ingredient, and so to see that between 25 or 30% of all the food we manufacture and raise in this country ends up thrown in the garbage, I find that personally offensive.
Anthony, straight ahead.
Down here, Anthony,
These are the Emmys for the people who actually make your shows are honored, okay? The people who shoot the shows and make them look gorgeous, the people who write them, the people who lay in sound and do sound design, which is incredibly important, and the editors. Editing, man, the difference between a good edit and a bad edit, it's everything. It's everything. So, you know, these are the people who, you know, if you like the house you live in, these are the people who built your house. It's still remarkable to me every day that every time that I can pay my rent on time. Until age 44, I'd never been able to pay rent on time. I'd never had anything resembling, you know, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was living the way, you know, college kids live. Till I was 44. I had no security, no possessions, never owned a car, never had health insurance, and I was pretty set. I mean, as comfortable as one can be with that situation. I mean, that's where I was at age 44, and then Kitchen Confidential came out. I was still standing next to a deep fryer. So even though it's 11 years later, you know, as I like to say, the smell of the steam table and the griddle is still pretty fresh in memory, and I guess in some ways it informs, you know, how I live my life now. You know, it's a coming to terms with a lot of mixed emotions about things. Certainly, it's a coming to terms with how my life has changed in the 10 years since Kitchen Confidential, which is to say, completely changed. I went from a guy, you know, broke. Had been broke, never insured, never owned anything, perpetually in debt, hard-working guy, to overnight the guy with the best job in the world, with the freedom to travel around the world doing anything he wants and get paid for it. So it's a coming to terms with that, and also a look at the industry that I covered in Kitchen Confidential, and how that's changed in 10 years, which is to say,